And we're live here at Hazy Crawford practice pitch. Up next is Marcus Minshall knockout finals, Royalians versus Northerns. I'm Kelson Figaro alongside the Flopcast creator Robert Stone. And Robert, exciting finals, 100 years of rugby for Northerns RFC. Also, Royalians RFC first time being this final in a bit. It's going to be a nail biter. What do you think will happen? Are you sure Northern's going to take this home today?
Kelson, I am not a betting man. I've called Royalians the dark horse of this tournament the entire time. Massive upset where they beat Caribs RFC in the semi-final to make it here. It is anybody's game. Both these squads, so much tradition, so much behind them, so much support coming from all over the world for both these squads. It is anybody's game. We are here, cometh the hour, cometh the man. You're looking right now on the screen at the Royalians Club wearing that dark blue, that traditional blue and gold. Northern's going to be sporting their blue and white kit, and everything is on the line.
Just a hint on how these teams got here. This knockout finals is the top four played in a semi-final setup in order to make it here. Northern's easily got past Harvard's 30 points to 14. That was the number 3 seed beating number 2. But the shocker was the Caribs Royalians RFC game. Caribs, the league leaders in the tournament, undefeated up until then. And Royalians pulling a cracker out of that one, 21-17, to book that upset into this finals.
I'll tell you, looking at that semi-final between Caribs and Royalians, it was just absolutely outstanding. Coach for Royalians knew that if you want any chance against Caribs RFC, you have to start fast. You cannot allow them to pull out that lead, and that is exactly what Royalians did. We're going to be pulling out the team sheets now of these two great squads and be discussing some of the players with you.
Again, Royalians starting team look for Tracy McLean, Kareem Oliveri and Travis Carmichael in the front. Kareem Figaro and Andreas York going to make up the second rows, and the flanks going to be Joshua Sichan and Wayne Garrett, with the captain Wazim Oliver at number 8. Pulling the scrum half spot is Samuel Skeet, and the backline will be experienced flyer Felician Guerra. Number 11, the blindside winger, will be Hakeem Espinoza. Inside center, outside center combination, Atiba Rodney and Corey Edwards, and on the wing, Jonathan Blackburn, with the winger, the flying phenom, Caleb Durham Diaz.
Yeah, so much superstars there. Just right before we move on to the Northern squad, just so many national players out there for Royalians. Trezine, Oliver, Carmichael, Figaro, Joshua Sichan, Oliver, Felician Guerra, a legend of Trinidad rugby. But what's so interesting to see is in this final, outside centre, Corey Edwards gets the nod from their coach Smokey. He's had an absolute breakthrough year. And one man to keep your eye on is number 21. That's fullback for Royalians. That's Caleb Durham Diaz. If he gets space, he will finish. Now let's move on to Northerns. Your Northerns RFC. At props, you have Wendell Fullerton wearing number 1 and Kareem James in number 3. At hooker, Kyle Lukong with his beautiful girlfriend standing up close by. At lock, Mark Besessa. He's the man mountain out there with number 5 breakout sensation for the under-19 squad, Justin J.J. Marcel. Out finally, his wife lets him come back into the squad. That's blind flanker Andrew Lobo wearing number 6. Open side flanker Joseph Grossberg looking to make some damage, and the TNT legend at number 8, Big Jesse Richards. At scrum half, a little bit of a surprise selection coming back off the bench, the under 19 player Jeremy Bonas, and he'll be feeding rainbow sensation Jonathan Alain. At centre, Marcellus McCarty. He's stepped up in these semi-finals games. He's getting that go-forward ball. He'll be partnering the captain for Northerns. That's Christopher Hudson. And on the wing, Andrew Quash. He'll be in the headgear. And number 14, Jareem the Dream George, with Warren John, another rainbow player, starting at full-back. Kelson, you could speak about both these teams for hours. Are there any surprises? Are there any matchups that you want to look at in between that you think might have the edge for either squad?
Well, Philip, what's going to be the deciding factor is this night match. These athletes never got opportunity before to play. Everything was in the steaming hot sunshine before. So now fitness and the heat won't be a factor. What may be a factor is that ball in the darkness may be hard for the fullbacks and the kickers to catch. So there can be lots of skill needed to get those high balls wrapped up by the players. Maybe a tactic that both coaches may want to implement early on to test the eyes of the players.
Yeah, definitely.
Experience on both ends, though, so you're going to see those boys really rip it together. Last time these two faced in a night fixture, it was a nail-biter right here, but in the bigger part of the stadium, it ended one try, the better in favor of Northern's RFC, and we can expect another nail-biter of a match out here today.
No doubt. Just looking at both these squads, thinking about the last game they played together, Royalians controlled Northerns with those quick taps, just getting constant penalties, and they control the lineouts as well with a big he's actually number 4 there, Karim Figaro, causing all sorts of problems for them. So we'll see if Royalians could do that again. Can they work those quick tap penalties and get that go forward? For Northerns, they were actually very good at the base of all the rucks with little pick and goes, getting Royalians offside and playing off the advantage. Bonas likes to push that tempo. He loves those quick passes out. He loves little sniping runs off the base, and if anybody makes a break, he's got the pace there to support. But I think a big matchup is that at 10 for Northerns, they've put Jonathan Alain, first start there for the season, and he's going up against TNT legend Felician Guerra. Guerra knows how to set them, knows how to test defenses, and if there's a scrum, a 5-meter scrum on Northern's try line there, you could better believe that Felician Guerra is going for it and attacking that number 10 channel.
Great work by both teams for being here. Excellent closing curtain for the league competition. There's still more 15s rugby left, though. That's Inter-Surface Cup later on this year. But this is the last league fixture of the season, so all to play for. Both teams trophyless so far in the season, trying to catch themselves a piece of silverware to really call curtains on their 15th season. So these boys are going to leave all on the pitch.
Yeah, actually Caribs were running the table the entire year. They looked completely unstoppable, ran the whole league, came into the semi-finals, and I think came in a little overconfident, and Royalians put on the game of their lifetime. We were actually a little bit concerned following that game, the celebrations that ensued. I spoke to Coach Smokey and I said, Smokey, the players are looking a little overconfident now. Do not let this be the England versus New Zealand from the last World Cup, where England went into that game against South Africa a little overconfident, started slow. It's all about the start. If Northerns could push a little lead and get that little element of doubt in Royalians' head, and then on the other end of the coin, if Royalians start quickly, if they start to put pressure, if the penalty count starts to mount, could Northerns fold and give up that trophy on their 100th year anniversary? It's all to play for here at Hazley Crawford Stadium, 2023. Marcus Minshall knockout final, Royalians versus Northerns.
Experienced man in the middle for this one. Richard Stagland, lots of experience and games on his belt, and he's going to take charge of this one in the pink shirt. Team of 3, team of 5 actually in goal, touch ARs for this one, so it's going to be closely scrutinized. They're going to have the safest game possible, and we really like to thank the Referee Society for really putting on a show and really having a full complement of staff to make these games playable and as safe as possible.
Yeah, fantastic work. And here in the fraternity, you're talking about a team of 5. I would actually see it's a team of about 300, because the fans are right on the edge. We are having some bears enjoying themselves, and you're going to hear every bit of their opinion being directed at Richard Stagland. Could he keep his composure? You know, he plays with a lot of these people on the national stage himself when he was a player. Out there with Guerra, you're going to be hearing opinions, lots of pressure, everything on the line we're talking about. And only one team could hold the cup. They're making their last minute preparations. You're looking at Smokey out there talking to his team, trying to keep the level down, explaining what he wants. Simple plan. Use the territory, push them around, make the pressure in the line out. They're going to throw up Damien for sure. Northerns wandering over there. Mickey Browner looking confident, made some changes. Nice to have, of course, Lobo back there. That's another national player who's put his hand up. That's number 6, Andrew Lobo. To have him and Jesse Richards as options running. Big Mark Bassessa who could slam it up. JJ Justin Marcel on the 19 sensation. We talked about him earlier. But Northern's backs have not been as creative as Royalians this year, and a lot of times do throw a few wayward passes and might turn it over there. Again, for Royalians, keep your eye. Actually, I was a little critical of him at the beginning here at Tiba Rodney, but he has stepped up. He has really upped his game. Some beautiful distribution. And if Corey Edwards gets the ball going forward and breaks the line, he is very difficult to stop. Should also just mention there, number 14 for Royalians. That's Jonathan Blackburn. It looks we might have some changes coming up here. Chad's coming. Of course, the Jamaican sensation. He's got lots of opinions. We have a few Bears bet on this game as well. Should just mention that Kelson, besides a legend playing for West Indies and Trinidad, his home club that he's supported his entire life and played for has always been Royalians. I grew up and played for Northerns. I went on a few national teams as well, but I only really carried water, unlike Kelson, who starred and played in everything. But I love to throw my opinion and harass him whenever possible. You'll see walking there. That's another member of the Referee Society. Caleb plays for Harvard's. Was the ref himself for the Bruno Brown fixture, did quite well. Very opinionated, will be getting involved, does not like to have any harassment coming in from the sideline. You're looking at Big Mark Possessor shaking hands there with Staggy. Staggy will be telling him. And one thing we're worried about, again, if Northern's under pressure and the penalty count starts to mount, things might get dangerous here. Look at Grossberg walking across. He has that beard there. He's been stunning for them. Go forward ball. He always makes himself available for a runner. But Royalians have been in this collection now. Team bind. They have not made a final for almost 20 years, Kelson. Everything on the line.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I need to stop that one time. Need to cut down the nip that in the bun. We won't go as far as that. But anyway, up next, just a minute or so left in this one. Referee Rachel Stagland in the middle. Areas on this one, Caleb Hector and Kenisha Vincent. In goal referees is Keyshawn Mendez and Andrew Williams. And we're going to have an exciting show for you. The crowd are just filling in right now here at the practice field in Hasty Crawford Stadium. It's not men's knockout final action as we get up into the pan on the crowd. All exuberant fans out here ready for this one.
Yeah, I had to make sure you're still paying attention to me there, Kelson. You know I like to harass you. Also, Ronnie Gittins at home watching this game wanted to make that comment. Tradition, a beautiful, wonderful club. So many national players have come and so many current national players start for Royalians. Last game against USA South, a big victory for TNT. Trezine McLean had a stunner. Travis Carmichael. List goes on. Joshua Sechan. Wazim Olivier, captain, fantastic, starting at number 8 for Royalians. Can he have another stellar performance? And it does look like Royalians are going to be kicking off. Playing from the right-hand side of us here. 2 Northerns. Seconds away now. You're watching from all over the world. We appreciate the message streaming in. And Kelson, here we go.
Felician Guerra gets us underway. High kick into the sky. The game is on as you see piles of bodies on the floor, and it's a big Bissessa taking it up for Northerns. He is going to be the one doing the work as Bonus tries to ship it to Jonathan Alhan, and it's a big contact by Rollins trying to bully their way through. Loads of aggression by the boys in blue and gold, but losing the feet is Royalians, boys, and that is what you don't want. Over exuberance by the team in blue and gold, and the captain Christopher Hudson gets an opportunity to tell his boys, cool it down, boys, we have 40 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about before. The start that Royalians wanted, put all that pressure, but gave Northerns a bit of a lifeline there, giving away that penalty right on the post. A little bit of under pressure pass there. We're talking about it, Jeremy Bonas. He gives that bullet ball from the base. Jonathan Alain couldn't control, but then tried to ship it out there to Marcellus, who couldn't handle it. And Royalians with all the pressure. Early line out there for Northerns. Lots of wind. This is where they suffered so badly in the earlier game in the league, and Royalians were able to take control. Can they do it tonight?
Line out time, first test for the young hooker. Excellent throw, and Northerns is on the rampage here, pushing. Royalians trying their utmost best. The ball is knocked on, it seemed, from our angle. It seemed to be turned over in that maul. Royalians with the ball in hand, trying to pick and go, looking for the 10. Trying to go against the grade. The referee playing knock-on advantage. And trying to shift it out wide to the runners. Into the hands of
Looks like
Corey
Corey.
Edwards and his quash, the diminutive quash, pushing them back, but the referee just holds the play. Seems to be going back for the advantage. It seems for the knock on. No advantage game, so he's going to go back to knock on. It's going to be a scrum to Royalians, and they're going to get opportunity to get another bite to the cherry.
Well, that does seem to be a very generous advantage. You remember, it's not a penalty here. It was just a simple knock on, a few phases out wide. Thought he was actually going to go for the knock-on of Caleb coming in there at fullback, attacking that line. He's wearing number 21 tonight, but no, they are going all the way back, and it is a beautiful position here for Royalians early in the first half, of course. But nice take up there. Mark doing what we asked him there. Big phase play, just looking to straighten. Is going to be so interesting looking at that channel there. Scrum half Jeremy Bonas to Jonathan and Guerra in this position. We were looking at it here. Our Royalians going to look to test that channel, put Jonathan under all sorts of pressure, set it up with a quick phase there with Felicia and Guerra and do everything off that. Akiba Rotney, first centre there for Royalians. He's had an outstanding game. They're trusting his distribution and they are looking to split it here.
It seems to be a change in possession. Seems to be Northern's put-in. Royalians seems to be super tight on this one. CTV are confused. It's Bonus for the put-in. Northern's on the push. Solid scrum by Royalians, really getting the best of them. Bonus shifting about wide to McCarty. He's a big hard runner, but the Royalians pack are up for it.
Royalians flying up in defense.
It's Bisessa kicking from the boot. Deep kick. Oh, not
better
caught.
Play it. He better play it.
Not caught by the fullback for Royalians. That's Caleb. And that's what we spoke about. That high ball in the darkness will be a difficult ask for the young players to catch. Swirling wind as well coming across the pitch. Normally on the Queen's Park Savannah, it goes east. It goes in the direction of a side. This breeze comes across the pitch. A lot bit harder to gather for the young fullback.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a get out of jail free card there. You do not expect your big lock to put a kick through, but he slammed it down to the one man. You do not want to give time and space. If Caleb collected it, it could have been a lot of problems there for Northerns. But now it is a scrum in Royalians half. You're feeling the momentum change a little bit. Can they get Jesse Richards to that big pick and go blind? McCarty out to his right. Bonas looks to do it. It is a pop and go, but it's a beautiful pressure there by the Royalians player. Jeremy Sechan on him. Tackled eventually. Mark Possessor looks to feed. Here's Grossberg. He takes it up. It might be a turnover. It does look like a turnover. It is. It's Royalians' ball.
Great work there by Royalians. Northern's trying to counter-attack into hands of Felicia and Guerra. He shifts out wide to the big Kareem Oliver, and he's pushed his way up the pitch. Just remember, folks, it's 40 minutes and a half. Lots of rugby to play here. All the energy in the world. Felicia and Guerra now puts a kick to the corner. One bounce into touch.
I thought it might have been straight out. Having a little discussion. It is straight out. Kalisha Vincent pulls it back. And it is going to be a line out in Royalians half. Quick correction again. Northerns with a beautiful first line out there. Pick and drive. That is what you want to see. Sucked in some defenders. At the end there, it was turned over just at the end. Let's see if Royalians could do it again. But beautiful start there by number 2 hooker for Northerns, Kyle Lukong. They suffered all year with lineouts, but they've made some changes and it's already paying dividends. Can they do it again?
Howling. Royalians trying to pick it. Nice high jump and great distribution by Bonus. Knocked back by Jesse Richards. And he's on the rampage. He's hard to stop once he builds up a head of steam. Eventually taken down. Northern's looking to get the quick ball in the hands of Bonus. Jonathan Allen shoots out right to the captain. It's Christopher Hudson. And he's eventually pulled to the floor. Great numbers. The ball spills out to the side yet again. Chizine McLean now with the ball. Great ankle tap and great double tackle as the ball goes out into touch.
And we're talking about all these little errors, some nerves coming out here. Jeremy Bonas starting scrum half for Northerns. If I have one criticism, he has this great energy, but he throws a bullet pass, even if the fly half is 2 seconds away. He does rocket it out there, puts him under a lot of pressure. Got to be a little simple and basic. Sometimes just a simple option will do. Let's see. Hopefully Northerns will utilize that catch and drive again. It was beautiful, the first one. Not sure why they would want to do a quick pass off the top. We'll see what they pull out now.
Ferocious start to this first half. Ball seems to be fumbling into the hands of JJ, and he finally gets to ground. Bonus quick to the ball into the hands of dangerous Jesse Richards, and he comes up with it even just as big Kareem Figaro Out to the flag, Jonathan Allen, and he gets it to the captain's hand. He grubbers one wide. Trying it on the full. Great work. It's easy by Warren John. He picks up the fullback. And great vision by the captain, Christopher Hudson. Northerns now deep into the Royalians half of the pitch. But Royalians seem to turn it back over. Energy sapping stuff. Can these both teams play this energy level throughout this 80 minutes?
There's a lot of nerves, a lot of force, but it's interesting how both squads really contesting those rucks, looking for those turnovers. And this is where Royalians really capitalize at quick little pop-out passes. Everybody can't give away that penalty. Mark Bassessa looks to challenge it, might want to simplify it, might be a beautiful counter, okay? Might be stolen by Northerns. It appears to be. No, it's hacked up field, and Warren has a lot of work to do. He eventually clears. He picks it up.
Oh, he knocked it on.
He better play it.
Deep inside the 22, and he's knocked on, and the pressure is building on Northerns. It's a big scrum for Royalians deep in the 22, and it's energy zapping stuff. 1 minute, Northerns were on the offensive, now on a pressure scrum deep inside the 22, and we see the kick doing wonders on both ends of the pitch.
Yeah, that's some huge frustration there. Warren had tons of time. The ball was basically stationary, looked to pick it up, but took his eyes off it for 1 second, and it is again a monumental switch, and Royalians able to separate it now. A scrum right in front of the post on that 22-meter line. So interested to see what they're going to do here. Both squads looking to use the pack so far. Making a little bit of errors here. But so interesting. Are they going to separate it off the ruck? Guerra talking away. Looking to bring Corey, and you'll see them switch a T-bout. He's going to be second phase. I think it's going to be Guerra looking to use Corey Edwards in that first phase and set it up off his second one, looping around. Very interesting to see. But can they win this scrum here?
Just under 10 minutes going in the first half. Big scrum. Advantage seems to be up straight on penalty by Royalians. Tap quick by Wazim Oliver. They don't seem to be back 10. He's driving, going his way. He'll have another advantage. And there seems to be, they're going to get back the put-in. Quick tap by Wazim Oliver. No advantage being played. And I would opt for the kick just to get some points on the board. But let's see what Royalians does. Captain signals the post just as I said, and Royals are going to try to get themselves a foot in the door with the 3 points to start off this one.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic call. Corey Edwards here with the kick. Royalians, I think Northerns might, even if they concede here, might feel that they got a little bit of a get out of jail free. But they can't let those penalties, and it is beautifully converted. And it is Royalians 3, Northerns 0.
Corey Edwards gets Royals on the board. 3 points. Royals the better over Northerns in this one. Taking the smarter option, getting the points on the board. And they're going to try to just tick on that scorecard and just keep eyeing the points. The Rugby World Cup final won by South Africa. No try was scored by the winning team. So maybe Royals are trying to replicate that as Northerns are fired up. And Johnson Allen is going to get us back underway. Nice high kickoff. Let's see who gets under it.
That is absolutely stunning. It might be Northern's ball. It is. And Bonas with his hands on the ball brings it down. But he's under huge pressure here. And it might be a turnover. No, it's not released. It is a Northern's penalty. And let's see what they do. Are they going to try to take a shot at goal themselves, or are they going to go for the line out? Stunned after that first line out that they look to pop it off the top. You might want to just control it, bring it down, set it up, suck in those defenders, and utilize something right off there.
No clear release by the Royals member. Christopher Hudson going to get opportunity to get himself lower down the pitch. Not much purchase, but just enough to get themselves just on the 22-meter mark, and they're going to try to answer right back after Royalians has scored, and this is so far seeming to shape up to be a nail-biter of a match.
This is one thing Royalians are so deadly at these breakdowns, is there's so many guys with this poaching ability. I'm talking about Joshua Sichan, Wazim Oliver, that's the captain, fantastic for Royalians, but also number 10 Felician Guerra. Let's see, it's beautifully thrown there by Kyle, and they've set up a beautiful maul. Kyle with it at the back. Might be held in. No. Pull back. Might be Wendell Fullerton with his hands on the ball. And look at that fight. Ball going forward. Can't be down. Think the referee called maul. Can Northerns make it available? It's back there with Mark Bassessa with his hand on the ball. And it is time out. It looks like Caleb Hector has an opinion. Hands were flying.
The player seemed to be pulling in. We seemed that big number 4 for Royalians, Kareem Figueroa, just seemed to be just trying to get his arms free.
Interesting to see what he calls it. It is a talk. Was him Olivier bringing ball? Royalians can't afford to lose him. And it might be.
And it's a big number 5 for Royalians, Kareem Figueroa. Hand swinging, and he's going to get a yellow card, and he's going to add extra pressure onto this game so far. Royals going to play a man short for 10 minutes. He's going to spend time in the bin, and that's disappointment for the team in blue and gold.
There's something about that family I just don't trust, Kelson. I'll say that. But here we go. Scrum time. Missing your star national team second row. Northerns have got to keep this ball in. Tell young Bonus, keep it by Jesse Richards' feet and just go for the walk. Concede that penalty. Take it again and put them under huge pressure. Let's see. On the 5-meter line. Jesse Richards at the back. This is where young Bonus's experience might come to cost him. They've got to talk to him. Do not look to force anything. Take them for a walk. And here we go. This is what we talked about. Bonus watching it there. Doesn't want anything to come out. Might be forcing it. It is out. Bonus with it. He looks to force. Step back inside. They do not want to do it in front of this player.
The ball is taken on Jesse Richards, picks and goes. He dispatches a couple, trying to stretch for the line. Northern's looking for the big run of Bissessa. He's going to bully his way close to the try line. Northern's just needing to be patient here to get themselves on the ball. Picking and going, trying to reach for the line. Royalians just stopping them a bit short. Needed the numbers. Can they do it? And Northern's are pushing themselves probably a meter short. And the ball seems to be rolling forward. Picked up eventually by Royalians. Turned over in the breakdown. Knock-on signal by referee Richard Stagland. 5-meter scrum to the boys in blue and gold.
That's why we're talking about the patience for Northerns. They were right under the post there. Big phase by Mark Bissessa. But then, but look, another call coming in from the touchline. It might be hands coming in from the side. I thought that's what it was. And it is a knock-on. No, he's going back. It is going to be just a knock-on from Northerns. So the time, not the biggest in-goal areas, though, Kelson. It's very interesting to see how they'll approach this exit strategy. Warren dropping back deep is the full back there for Northerns. That huge error that cost them the 3 points earlier.
Most teams use the tactic of picking from the number 8 just to give them a bit of room to kick. They don't usually kick from the scrum, but we loads of pressure by the flanker. But we see the position of the Royalians players. It seems like that is what they're going to do. Pressure kick. They don't usually get a lot of purchase this way. But again, Royalians only have a man down.
Look at that shove, but beautifully done by Olivier.
As captain again was him taking it going. Northern's player doesn't seem to be releasing the contact. The hand is out for the penalty. They have to release from the player here, and Royals are going to take their time, catch their breath, kick for the touchline, and saunter their way and just eat up precious clocks to get their player back on the pitch.
That is the coach killer of a century. You have a team under pressure, and why force and give up? Force them to play out of there. But luckily it does not go out, and here's Bonus, who does a bizarre switch that doesn't work. Warren running back. Chris getting frustrated. He gets on the ball, and he eventually is dragged down as well, but it seems to be Northern's ball right in their half.
Northern's player seems to be on his palms. Royalians trying to pressure them in as Felician Guerra holding it up as another penalty for Royalians, and they're winning these small battles that could win the war in the end.
It is very, very frustrating options here by Northerns. Wait a second, it might be reversed. It is. I guess the tackler did not release. Sorry, we misinterpreted what Staggy was suggesting. I think the call might have come in from Caleb again. He's been enjoying himself as the assistant referee on the side. Both teams looking to push it into the wind. That's getting me incredibly frustrated. And again it's pushed. And again it stays in play. How could they not figure this out? I do not know. But recovered by Edwards, who makes big yards.
Corey Edwards makes his way to the center of the pitch. Royalians trying to get themselves back out of their half of the pitch. And his captain, Wazim Olivier, just lose it on the pickup. No advantage played by referee Stagland, and Royalians not trying to capitalize on the error, and both teams are making loads of mistakes. Again, it's loads and loads of pressure by both teams to really get themselves in this one. It may just come down to who makes the fewer mistakes in the end.
It does appear to be that way. Now Northerns are going to have to make a very, very big call. So far the scrum half, fly half combination has not worked out. They are trying to force everything. They have the advantage in the scrum now. They are playing with a man up. Royalians just trying to contain it. Scrum goes down. We might reset it here. But I'm absolutely stunned by some of the decision making that's coming out here, especially being the man up. And why are they kicking directly into the wind is beyond me. 3 times it has not found touch kicking into that side, but they refuse to do it any other way.
Scrum on the center line of the pitch. Big shove by Royalians as the ball comes in. Royalians pushing Northern's back, unable to hold them in. Eventually ball comes out to Bonus Johnson. Allen gets it out to put it, and he deep kick.
Might be a 50-22, and let's see the call, and it is a 50-22. What a kick by Christopher Hudson. Outside centre and captain for Northerns. Outstanding option. And again the momentum switches. Jonathan Alain under huge pressure there at fly half, but somehow gets the ball out, and Northerns have to settle it. It has to be a perfectly constructed line out there. They're missing their big man jumper there, Kareem Figaro. He's got all the experience. I'm not sure, maybe only a few minutes left, so they have got to capitalise here. I think if you're looking at these scrums, it is number 3, Kareem James for Northern, that's having all sorts of problems holding it up. He was traditionally a second row, but they've moved him up to prop. And as great as he is in open play, he does suffer those scrums, and I think that's the area that Royalians wanted to exploit. Beautifully done, not straight is the call. And again, get out of jail, it is a Royalians ball. No, Royalians were even contesting there, but they insisted to throw him up at 4 in this wind. Sorry.
Pressure ball. Royalians knew they weren't going to throw at 2. They're trying to peel and roll the maul is the tactic they don't seem to be using. Royalians being the smarter of the 2. One less number. They'll wait for the liner to come and then try to sap it in. The tactic worked in this instance. Royalians get an opportunity to probably kick with the wind on their side. They'll probably clear to our side of the pitch. Maybe we can see something from Felician Guerra, the right-footed kicker, may use the wind to his advantage. But big shove by Northerns.
And it is a penalty again, but this time to Northerns. What are they going to opt to do here? They may look to just do a tap and go. They've really struggled. Or maybe another scrum. You would think that's what they would want to do. Concede that penalty. Maybe even force another card, but they are going to set up another tap. Very surprising option. Here's Kyle. Not the biggest ball run, and he runs into the 2 biggest poachers. Bonus now. He feeds Mark Possessor. The big Jesse Richards bumps off 2, and that's a try.
Can't stop Jesse Richards from that area of the park. As we see Felician Guerra barking orders at it, boys. Jesse Richards unstoppable from that 5-meter area. Northern push ahead 5 points to 3 over Royalians with the kick to come.
Well, they absolutely needed that. We're playing with a man down there. If they couldn't score, it might have been a real break of psychology. Northern's going to take a kick. A few kicking options here, but hopefully Chris takes it. It is. I think Jonathan wanted a piece, but he's kicking into this wind. Can Chris make it 7?
And that sin bin for Royalians are hurting them. That man advantage. Northern's finally capitalizing on the man the bin. He maybe have 2 or so minutes again as Christopher Hudson slots home the kick, adds a second. The 2 points, and this pushes the score now 7 points to 3 in favor of the boys in blue and white.
Yeah, beautiful. It all started with that beautiful play that by Christopher Hudson. Gets that 50-22. That's when you're playing in your half and you kick it. It bounces at least once in the field of play and then trickles out of bounds within the 22 and goal line. So it was a Northerns, and from there the problem started. Yes, they gave away the penalty there, or not being straight, but they were able to capitalize on the scrum, and Royalians really need Kareem back out there on the field. I feel the players are already starting to walk, but very early days.
High kickoff by Felician Guerra, not taken cleanly. Knock-on advantage playing to Royalians, and the tricky lighting situation comes back into play. Royalians get the ball just outside the 22-meter line, and they can answer back with something of their own.
Yeah, I'll say that almost every time Northern scored, even during the season, something seems to go on with just the easiest thing. Just settle it back. Easy kick-off reception, settle it down, and get out of your area. But they concede a knock-on from the kickoff, and Royalians scrum again. So interesting to see what the options are. This time they're actually going to leave Corey Edwards out wide. Would have thought that Felician Guerra wanted to attack that Jonathan Alain channel. We'll see what they look to do. Again, playing a man down, and it might be lost again. And it is, this time, a penalty. It looks like an early push, and they do tap. This is what we were worried about. taken up by Royalians. Let's see what the call is. Not back enough. Same exact story, different day.
Jesse Richards, a very, very hard person to get into. You need to be strong on your feet. And Roland just push it deeper with a line out. And they're going to get themselves closer in and see if they can etch out another penalty. As we see Mark Besessa just being a chippy with the referee, just asking questions, as good players do at times, to really read the mind and the mental of the referee. Royalians down but not out. Lots of time in this, just about halfway through this first half of the game. Roland trail 7 points to 3. Line out time. Roland set piece in.
Yeah, with this win, I'm a little surprised they're going for that option. And it is a little shaky, but they do bring it down.
Wayne Garrett eventually mops up the loose line out. Roland should shoot it out wide into the hands of Felician Guerra. He gets in the hands of Corey Edwards. Atiba Rodney looking for Caleb. And there's Caleb on the wing. Can he get it wrong on the outside? Taken well by Quash. And great impetus. Great work by the fullback, just ran out of real estate, and Quash did well to stop the blazing run of Caleb Durham Diaz, and we can see the threat with him, ball in hand, if he gets any more space to run with it.
Yeah, I think that was a beautiful backline move there by Royalians. See what they did. They brought the winger in, looking like they were going to switch it play, and then the fullback got the ball coming from behind, and he was looking to exploit his space. Took a little time to get ready, and Quash does so well to force him out of bounds. Again, a massive, massive stop here. Royalians need to keep it down there, keep all that pressure. But with every little bit of an error there, Northern's getting a chance to relieve some pressure.
And Roland is back to full strength. As time punishment in the bin is over, Royalians have the full complement of players. And number 5, Kareem Figaro, really need to put in a shift to make up for the lost time. Northern's capitalized with a converted try. Rollers need to match. Line out time for Northern's. Kyle Long. Look Hong gets the ball in. Big Bisessa pulls it down. And Northern are trying to push them way out of the 22-meter line.
Yeah, Mark Bisessa has been a revelation since coming into this team back from injury in that line out. Just this massive body that goes up and so beautiful with his hand in the air. Let's see what the call is.
Northern's possession. They try to shift it out wide. It's a big JJ eventually wrestled to the floor. Northern's pushing themselves into the hand of Christopher Hudson, looking for the missed pass. Knocked on in the contact. No. And tempers are going to start a flare here. No input by the air on this one. Tackle after the whistle, lifting the legs beyond the horizontal. Dangerous play. As we see the AR seems to walk in to have a chat about the after whistle tackle, and someone can have a 10 minutes in the naughty chair.
Yeah, this is very dangerous here. Let's see what the call is. It is a knock-on. First, actually, he's saying the knock-on is by Royalians. Northerns have had so much trouble all season. They have so much talent in that back line, but they cannot see. And it is a full penalty. So Northerns has a chance to get out of jail free. I refuse to believe that Chris is looking into the win again, but he is.
The AR comes in and says intentional knockdown by Royalians, and he's going to clear his lines. Royalians gathers in the hands of Corey Edwards, doesn't make touch yet again.
I am not thrilled, but here's Royalians on the halfway line. Well collected there by Kareem. I don't know how he managed to do that. He pulled it in.
Royalians trying to get themselves out. Into the hands of Sichan. He shoots a long pass to Felician Guerra. Skips out to one. Into the hands of Caleb. He knocks it backwards. Royalians couldn't seem to get it right. Eventually taken. And it's Quash. Hands in the rock as Royalians try to push their way over. Felician Guerra doing loads of work. Scrum half comes in. Looking for the forwards. And it's Travis Carmichael on the angle. Wrapped up by Wendell Fullerton. He pulls him to ground. Royals looking for the space. It's Felician Guerra. Shoots it in the hand of Joshua Citron. Bumps off one. Wayne Garrett on the prowl. The blue player not rolling away. And Mark Bisessa on the ankles trying to make a contact. That's Grossberg. Seems to be coming over the top, trying to pinch it. Chazine McLean on the run. He barrels his way in. Expertly taken by the tackler, but great rocking by Rollins. The player just seemed to not know where he needs to be. Beautiful. And it's Grossberg just being that number 7 that he is. Excellent counter rock by Northern's RFC. They are on the charge. Advantage playing, knock on advantage. Christopher Hudson switched codes, gets it out to the blind side. Wazim Oliver just patted to the ground. Advantage still playing, and Bonus shifts it to Bissessa. Bissessa looks, choose a dummy, taken to the ground. Northern's great recycle work, looking for Christopher Hudson. He looks for that charge done by Rollers, and on the foot, the referee stops the play. No advantage, knock on.
Yeah, they were playing an advantage there. Staggy calling back the action. I don't think the players realize yet, and there is a little bit of a punch up, but cooler heads are prevailing. Let's hope no cards come at this and spoil this affair.
And the number 5 in there, Karim Figueroa, he needs to be careful. He just had a yellow card earlier, doesn't want a second. Big bust up in the end. The players not hearing the whistle, and tempers flared, and it's going to be the air again. He's going to have a lot to say. That's Caleb Hector. He's going to have a lot to say about that altercation. Both players not really hearing the whistle on that one, and we may have a card or two, or we may have a card or maybe even 2 cards for that bust up.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. Hope we don't spoil the occasion, but just quickly to just get back to the action there. Northern's playing with a penalty advantage, goes out wide with men out wide, and Chris looked to force that kick. Just you're noticing a little bit of a lack of confidence there with Northerns, even with the advantage. Why not just go for it? Oh, they're bringing in all the ARs now. This is where things could get very, very dangerous for one of these squads. The crowd falling into silence as we're waiting.
We'd expect lots of tempers in this one. All to play for, trophy on the line. Last setting for the day. Both teams super emotional and need to keep their emotions in check as the referee just stops to have a word with his team to ensure that everything works out in the end.
Didn't see the original reason for the hand. Again, it was blown dead. That's the sad thing about it. Kick through there. Not sure what started it. We see a few hands passed afterward, but nothing too serious. Would really not like to see either team get any red card or a yellow. Hopefully they could just go back to the penalty. But they are spending a long time, and that usually spells some danger. Staggy walks back. Uh-oh. He's calling both players in. And both captains.
Normally when this happens, he usually dip to their pocket, and he probably just going to tell the players to take it down. Doesn't want to show too many cards in a final, just trying to get the game going, and he's trying to reason to the players that, listen, this can't happen in the game of rugby. Loads of spectators out there really trying to make things happen.
Yeah, it would be a huge shame. He's taking his time. Richard Staglin with a huge amount of experience, and it does look like hopefully it'll just be a play on. But they're going all the way back here for the penalty. I remember, of course, it was advantage for a penalty for Northerns only halfway, so if they're giving Northerns a penalty back here, a little bit surprising. But it is a penalty for Northerns.
Unusual call, advantage. The whistle was, and I believe Bissessa, they're going to take it back to the knock-on advantage. Smartly done by Northerns, just protesting the call.
Yeah, that's why the experience is coming in. But so far, both sides happy to contest at all the rocks. Scrums have started to favour Northern's way, but we are just not seeing that distribution that we were hoping for from Bonus and a lane for Northerns. Alternatively, Royalians are looking sharp in that channel, but they just are having a little trouble with the outside backs putting it away. I'm surprised that they're looking to push that channel, but they see something they like. They see one little bit of weakness out there. Maybe it is moving Warren out to fullback. He has been out of positions a few times. I'm surprised Guerra hasn't peppered more kicks after that first error. I think he might be under a lot of trouble if he went high ball. But here we are, scrum Northern's middle of the pitch. And a big push coming by Royalians. Bonus taking his time again.
And the scrum out, the flanker breaks a bit early there, not picked up. Okay. Eventually it's offside, given loose side flanker over exuberant on the scrum there, breaking too early, and they're going to try to kick it down. And the energy from the captain, Wazim Oliver, should be telling the Royalians boys, lots of time in it, just settle and get it down, as Christopher Hudson eventually tries to clear his line. It goes backwards. Eventually bundled into touch by Tiba Rodney as Quash tries to get the rebound. It's going to be a Northern's put in.
That is the correct call. A few of the girls on the sideline seem to disagree, but it did appear when Quash kicked it to come off the Royalians player and then go out. So pressure going, not the cleanest game we were hoping for, but a lot of wind, a lot of nerves out there. Both these teams think they have a genuine chance of leaving today with that trophy. Northerns with a slight advantage during playing against a man down 7-3, but it is anybody's game.
Northern saunters into it. Crossbow goes up for this one. Nice pick out the sky. Looking for Johnson Allen. Seems to be forward into the hands. The entire crowd seems to see it, including the referee. Bit of confusion in the play. Royalians get the put in just close to their half. And these are the combination they're speaking of. That play really was supposed to be almost a behind the back pass, and they just didn't get the assignment right.
I think when they see it as well in the video review, there was such a pointless pass. If you're doing that as the attacking player, Jonathan should have taken it up and sucked in a defender, then maybe looking to give it to Jesse, but it makes just an extra pass. It's literally off the top to Jonathan, who is super deep, who then just tried to pass it off to Jesse for no reason. Jesse could have easily taken it from the scrum half himself. Anyway, we move on. Royalians ball, and Gera looks to change.
Change the side, Felicia Gera looks for Tiba Rodney. Steps one, steps another. Finally, a bunch of blue shirts try to take him to floor. Switch of the code by Felicia Gera, looking for Kareem Figueroa. He bumps off a couple. Rollins rocking excellently, looking for the quick phase into hands of Tracy McLean, and he's going to take a stop in. JJ tries to wrap the ball up. Rollins with numbers out wide into hands of Caleb Diaz. Steps, cuts in, eventually gets it to Corey Edwards, and great defense by Northern, just wrapping up the players. But a penalty advantage is being played by referee Staglan, and he's going to take it back from where the scrum was. Unsure what the call was. Offside off the scrum is a call. Felician Gera is going to try to clear his lines, and can he find touch? And big boot. Quash seems to be gauging. Great kick. May have hit one of the Northern supporters on the beam, but you got to be sharp if you sit courtside.
I would say so. Beautiful kick there by Felician Gera. And just these silly little errors by Northerns costing them. They'll do all these things right. But I would say the Rocks are being controlled so well by Royalians. A lot of times they're taking it in, keeping their legs pumping. If they're under pressure, they just get their knee down, which forces Northerns to release men over, and the ball is being available. And a few Northerns are starting to get frustrated with each other after these silly, silly errors. Can they keep it together? Big mark possessed in the front there, but Scipio looks to jump, and he does well to bring it down.
That's Andres York taking down this throw for Rollins, looking to get the ball out. Northern's creeping up onto the line. Felician Gera under all sorts of pressure. Atiba Rodney seems to be the outlet, taken down expertly on the pass, looking for the loop in wide. Corey Edwards with a big right foot step. He loses one, looking for the run out wide. Seems to fumble it in the pickup. Eventually taken down. Advantage being played. They seem to have an advantage hand up by the referee Staglan. The hand seems to be put down. Felician Gera wraps it on the wing, looking for more room. I see it out there to Joshua Sichan. He steps over one player nonchalantly. Eventually, he is wrestled to the floor. Rollins looking to get this one out. Slow ball by Rollins into hands of Kareem Figaro. He is eventually stopped with but just a couple inches of purchase in front of him. Into hands of Kareem Oliver, and he bunches his way up, and Northern's pinch the ball quickly if they can. Rollins looking for space. Rodney looking for the move out wide. Corey Edwards looking for Hakeem Espinola, and he knocks on the ball coldly, looking for the ball. No advantage has been played to Rollins, and the referee's going to take it back, and they're going to have a second bite to get a score on the board.
Yeah, so many things that Royalians are doing so well here.
As we look back, too much pressure on the ball. Hakeem Espinosa just was under so much pressure from Quash and the fullback Warren John, and he knocked it on there.
Yeah.
Penalty advantage. What does Rollins do? Do they try to up for the post and add some more points on the board?
Does look like that. No, it might look like they're doing to do a quick tap here, maybe a plan move. It is. Big Olivier. He takes it up. Tackled by Grossberg, but ball available for Royalians.
Courageous play. Felician Gare with the ball into hands of Tracy McLean. He charges the way forward. Northern's trying to pick and be cheeky. Roland still in possession. Tackler not releasing. Roland trying to take it quickly. Felician Gare taps and goes. The players not back 10 into hands of Rodney. Rodney looking for a Tiba. Hakim on the outside. He seemed to be bundled into touch.
No, it's a try.
Try time, Royalians, and they're back in front. Royalians score off the quick tap. Northern sleeping on the play, and it's a speedy run of the winger. Hakim Espinoza dived his way to the try line. Royals in front by 1 point.
We spoke about it before the game there, that Northerns are having a lot of trouble adjusting on those penalties, Kelson, and you saw it one time there. It was a penalty advantage, and instead of getting back the inside centre for Northerns, that of course is Marcellus McCarty, stood up there and argued with the ref, playing the man down. It was his side. They went to the left, finished off in the corner, beautifully done there by Hakim Espinoza, and the score moves Royalians 8, Northern 7s with the kick to come. I was going to say it during the earlier break in play that Corey Edwards has been a revelation at centre. So good at just straightening up, staying on his feet, giving those people, and it does convert.
Excellent kick by Corey Edwards. Adding 2 extra points. Corey Edwards, come at the man, come at the hour, and he just slotted as he just ushers onto the crowd. Pick it up, get it up, boys, and Rollins are in front with about 5 minutes left before the half.
Yeah, it's been a half full of errors, but a few people have put their hands up. Corey Edwards has done so, taking over the kicking duties, coming into the starting lineup for the final, and also giving the ball off the tee. You don't see that every day, but he is having a barn burner.
Rollins back in front. This one, Johnson Allen to send us back with a skyscraper of a kick. Hard to manage. Samuel Skeet is undertaken expertly into the hands of Wazim Oliver. He's taken down expertly. Rollins on the rock and on the go. Felician Gare boots it into the wind. High challenge for Warren Bourne. He doesn't get it on the full. And Rollins trying to pick it up on the go. And it's Corey Edwards skipping one, skipping the other, looking for support. Trashes it out to no one in particular. And it's a try scorer, Hakim Espinoza with the ball.
Going back to the original knock on there by Warren John. He's having a lot of trouble there at fullback. Northern's coaches got to make some decisions soon.
Knock on in the pick. Great decision by Felician Gare, to put pressure on the fullback. Let's see what he can do. And he fumbled one big time inside the Northern's half. And we see Corey Edwards really being that handy player for Royalians, really adding the extra oomph to really get Royalians a foothold in this one.
So much leg drive. And again, just a little reminder, national team selections being picked in a not too distant future. And some players putting their hand up. Corey Edwards out of nowhere, number 13 for Royalians. He is turning national selectors' heads. Scrum for Royalians deep inside Northern's territory at the 8-man's feet.
Royalians just pushing, just walking the way up. Northern's need to be patient. Eventually comes out to Felician Gare looking for the long pass as a trick play trying to find. That's the speedster in Caleb Diaz, and the try scorer trying to get his way back in. Good breakdown by Northern's trying to counter ruck. It's unsuccessful. The ball is still in, trying to get the scrum half out in there. Side-out entry by Jeremy Bonas, not picked up by the referee. And it's Samuel Skeet just picking and going on the blind side. Rollins back on the ruck, looking for the scrum half to distribute. Jonathan Blackburn gets it out to Joshua Sichan, and he challenges 2 Northern defenders before being taken to floor.
Yeah, off his feet as he called.
And both teams just making the silly errors, just stopping the forward motion as the Northern's captain looked to lose the ball into the Royalians half and ease loads of pressure. And this has been an exciting fixture so far, a final for the ages.
Yeah, I think he actually stayed on his seat. I think the call is that he came in from the side to clear that ruck. So Northern's ball on the Royalians 10. Not a lot of time left. Could be the last play of the half here. And discussions galore. Northern so frustrated with themselves. They're going to have a team talk here. But something has got to change. They are forcing it. You think their pack actually has a little bit of advantage in these set pieces. But when it actually gets out wide, everything is just this bizarre floating pass. This bullet ball right on the gain line and it is not working out.
Northerns need to be careful. Always a team huddle before every throw. So coming down to crunch time, the referee may want to clamp that down. As the ball tapped down, knocked on in the contact, and the ball by Jeremy Bonas, and pressure ball. Both teams are really putting themselves under pressure by trying to tap it off the top of the line out. And once you tap it, the last person in the line out has food for days to smash that scrum off, who's just 5 meters from the back of the line out. Danger by both teams in terms of those line out set pieces so far.
It is some really bizarre calls trying to get that off the top ball, especially when you want to suck in some of these players. Again, they have so many fetchers in the Royalians team. You might want to just bring it down, suck in some defenders, give your backline a little bit of a chance to adapt. And Jeremy Bonas is having some trouble collecting these balls. He's so talented in go forward. But so far it's been rocky. Anything can happen. Again, it's only 10-7 to Royalians, a full half to play. Do not count either of these teams out.
Scrum time. Samuel Ski to get us underway. Strong scrum by Northerns this time. Pushing Rollins back. Shoots out. Felician Guerra under loads of pressure. Atiba Rodney trying to get his way through the middle. And it's Rodney on the goal looking for support. Throwing the money ball out to Jonathan Blackburn. Smash in the contact. The ball going miles away back. And it's Warren Bourne trying to get the ball on the boot. And big hit by Northerns on the defense. Blackburn trying to find room out wide. And big smash in the contact. Shooting the ball some 20 odd meters back. Pressure by both teams. Delicious rugby playing so far.
Yeah, fantastic break there by Atiba Rodney. He's inside centre for Royalians. Made the break, saw it was on, pass it out. And it was really just one pass away. But he just could not find his man. Warren with a massive make-up hit there. Dislodged the ball. Was able to regather his feet. Do a little kick through. Made big meters and it eventually trickled out. We'll tell you, look, yes, it is a Royalians throw-in just on their own 22. Interesting to see. They've been so effective with this get out of jail strategy. Let's see, are they going to look to kick? Are they going to look to run? Felician Guerra has been stellar back there, and it is a quick ball for Royalians again.
The ball eventually taken to floor. Can't kick it straight out. They seem to be outside the 22. Felician Guerra puts a high one up.
Look to be played from outside the 22 and taken back in for the kick. So I'm surprised. It should be actually a line out where the ball was kicked.
Well, we're a little bit too far on this end to really see the play of action to know for sure. But the referee, they have a closer eye on this and experience on either side in the areas of Caleb Hector and Kenisha Vincent. So it's going to be a line out on the 22, give or take to Northerns. They may have the last say coming into this first half. 10 points to 7 in favor of Royalians over Northerns RFC, and both teams are really putting on a show for the hundreds of spectators here watching this one today.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see if Northerns will try to slow down this line out and suck in some players. Again, they're doing so well with the lift and catch. It's just to bring it down and settle. Nothing quick off the top here. Hopefully not forced out wide. We're seeing though they're setting big Jesse Richards and Wendell. It's quick off the top again. Bonas slams it out, and another mistake. This time by Wendell.
Knock on galore. Rollins really need to capitalize on some of these mistakes. Rollins have the ball, and it seems to be a half-time. We didn't hear the whistle on this end, but referee Stargan calls a halt to proceedings for the first half. Exciting stuff here at Hasty Crawford Practice Stadium. It's Royalians 10 points to 7 over Northerns RFC. Mouth-watering stuff, and we'll be back after the break.
And we are back. Marcus, Minshall, knockout final. Royalians versus Northerns. And I sit here, my partner Kelson coming back. We sit here in absolute disbelief with the amount of errors that Northerns have made. They somehow are only losing by 3 points. Everything could be put to bed from the first half, Kelson. We are starting clean, 3 points down, but a few changes need to be made. We're looking to see if they've made any subs. So far, nothing is jumping out at me.
Looking from this end, it seems that Royalians have been playing safety and taking off Karim Figaro and bringing on Damien Phillip. He was in a yellow card before, and the coach doesn't seem to want to take the risk to play a man short for the rest of the game, so he will be on the bench, it seems. Royalians trying to cement this victory. Knockout champions, anyone up for grabs. Just 3 points the difference. Jonathan Allen to get us back underway. And just a recap of the first half, Royalians started off with a kick in, a penalty kick to get him underway. Corey Edwards got Royalians back underway, but then the yellow card by Royalians made it difficult, and Northerns capitalized in the form of Jesse Richards. He got them away, and Christopher Hudson slotted home the extra 2 points, but Royalians came back by Hakeem Espinoza, and he scored a stunner in the corner, and then it was capped off by an excellent kick by Corey Edwards to push Royalians up 10 points to 7 as Jonathan Allen gets us back underway for the second half. Jesse McLean is under it, eventually snatched on the rebound. Royalians trying to keep up the momentum from the first half. Into the hands of Damien Phillip, and he's a big man, a big carry by Phillip, pushes the ball in. Seems to be a hand up, but Felician Gear chucks it into the night sky. Warren Bourne seems to be under it, eventually takes it down, and Jareem Richards, haven't heard much of him so far in this tournament, steps off one, looks for the overlap, looking for Warren Bourne, and they're dancing in the name of love here. Northerns on the sideline trying to get themselves out. Jeremy Bonus looking for Lobo, and Lobo pushes the way forward, getting some yardage for Northerns into hands of Weldon Fullerton, and he pushes the way over, eventually scrapped down. Northerns trying to get themselves going, and Jeremy Bonus is wrapped up in the contact. Took too long to get it going. Seatbelt tackle, advantage signal as Bisessa tries to kick it away, but he'll have the penalty advantage.
Yeah, that's
trying to get something going.
Yeah, quick start here. Lots of pressure from both sides. Interesting to see what they try to do. Nice work. Interesting. We're seeing Jareem, the Dream George, moves back to fullback, and Warren moves to the wing. I think that is a great call. Nice to see them starting back there. But it is a penalty for Northerns. I think it is a beautiful decision to bring on Damon in the second row. But I would say they are losing. Another missed kick for touch.
Wayne Garrett gets it out, and it's Philanders for Royalians, pushes his way through, being the aggressor. Clear out is great, and it's Wazem Oliver picking up for the captain, but met excellently there by Grossberg. Royalians pushing themselves back into this one. Damian Phillips with the ball in hand, just moving a bit sideways, bundled into the floor. Royalians trying to get their hands. Felician Guerra tried to dink it over the top. One bounce into touch, didn't go out the way they liked it. Roland just giving up some of the forward movement. They're trying to look for the space behind the defense. Nice idea, not as well the execution.
I think taking off Kareem Figaro, he's so beautiful in open play. So Royalians happy to move it, but it is going to be a little bit of a change of tactics here. They're bringing in the second row. Phillips, who is outstanding in the air, trying to change up the tempo. Northern super dominant in the first half. That's maybe the one area they were dominant. And they're bringing him on. He is going to jump at 2 and contest, but he doesn't have the mobility of Kareem. And we'll see if now they just want to play kicking for territory.
This time they try to pad the ball into McCarty. He's a handful, and he's showing why. Busts his way through McCarty. Northern's on the front foot. Bonus, enough forward momentum, and it's Christopher Hudson pops it over the top to Bisessa, but it's forward pass signaled by the referee. Great idea by Christopher Hudson, just putting himself under danger, exposing his body to try to get the hand of the man mountain who is Mark Bisessa. Great idea, but you really want to give him the ball and let him do the work.
Yeah, I would say so. I would actually think it's an interesting tactic there, because Royalians are flying out from those rocks. They saw the space back inside, unable to get it there. Look back at that replay. Mark Bessessa flying through. Very interesting, but it's Royalians' ball inside Northern's territory. If Royalians score early, they could have their hands on the trophy.
Scrum time in the second half. Penalty will be given here. Push. Early push by Northern's. Roland just accepts the pressure. And it's Wazim Oliveira take it on the go. And it's Joshua Sichan bumping off one. Need 2 bumps to get the ball. Northern's hands on the ball. The referee asks him to get it go. Advantage was being played. Went backwards, says the referee, trying to get on the touchline. It's Atiba Rodney. He's pushed his way through, trying to get his way forward. Northern's quick on the go. And the referee calls it back. Doesn't see something as the AR comes into play again. And that's Caleb Hector out wide. He has been the 16th player on this match so far. Have a lot to say about what's happening.
Yeah, before the game, we talked about every time there's a penalty and the Royalians do a quick tap, not only do they make yards, but Northerns are always offside, so they're playing with this massive advantage. So we're seeing, and they are going to take this kick. Corey Edwards, who has been stellar so far, hasn't missed, is going to step up. Can he put himself in Royalians' folklore and add another 3 points, extending the lead to 13-7?
Well, Royalians are doing all the good work in this game, really trying to make positive rugby, not slowing the game down. And Northern doesn't seem to be aware that a penalty doesn't mean that the game has stopped.
Yeah, it's been a problem all year, really.
This kick just to the side, unsuccessful on this one. 22 dropout for Northern. Roland's very good tactic to kick for the extra 3 points. Just wasn't successful on the kick. As you see, big Mark Bessessa back in the ears of the referee, trying to get something going in his favor, trying to get something going for Northern to get them back into something. 20 dropout time. Royals are going to try to retrieve this kickoff. And let's see the tactic of Christopher Hudson. Do he kick it high and short, or do he kick it long and try to get territory on this one?
Well, the amount of errors they're making, I almost want to force them deep and try to trust the defense. We'll see what Chris hopes to do here. Just want to hail out again Royalians player number 23, Atiba Rodney. He's had a stellar game as well. It is a deep kick.
It's time to try score. Akinhap, and he steps one, tries to get rid of Allen, but Warren Bourne comes back. He's on the wrong side of the breakdown. Royals looking for it, and it's Philander smashed by McCarty. McCarty comes up and rocks the ball, doesn't get it successfully. Travis Carmichael knocks it backwards. Northern's really putting loads of pressure on the boys and blue and gold. They recover nicely. Roland just settled it down, looking for Corey Edwards. He looks for the long looping pass out wide. It seemed to be a big mistake by Royals. Northern's pinning them deep into the half. Little too many bodies to see. It's Northern's with a turnover, and it's Jesse Richards pumping his way through.
Now you'll remember Kelson play actually started deep inside the Northern's half on a series of errors and big tackles there. That was Marcellus McCarty, inside centre for Northerns, forcing him back, winning that turnover, putting all sorts of pressure. 2 passes, really strange. You don't see it often, but Travis Carmichael with the fumble caused more and more pressure, and it just kept on forcing the pass. And now Northerns are putting pressure deep inside the Royalians half, just inside the 22 there. And again, cannot give away any more penalties, cannot force anything. Just settle it down. One phase, one play. No need for that home run. Chris Hudson playing outside centre. Just settle it down, folks. Somebody's got to run. You've got Marcellus McCarty, who's so dangerous with ball in hand. Doesn't need to be anything big. Jesse Richards with one ball. Take it one phase. Set up something else. Take bonus. Quick, easy little ball out there to a big runner McCarty. Get those yards going forward. Does not have to be scoring all the way out wide.
Royals have been a great job so far in this one, nullifying the big runs of Jesse Richards and the runs of McCarty, but needed to look out for the snippy forward as in Jonathan Stewart. When he comes on, he will be a handful. Loads of energy, quick to get his hands on the ball. He really can find his way through the spaces as we just get back off this injury break to get us back underway. Royals as well have people on the bench. Kevin Figaro extra input when he comes on among others, so we can look for a stellar second half as we continue. Northern's make some switches around, put in Warren John on the wing, to try to get that miracle ball out to him. Jareem George at the back has been a bit silent so far in this one. been very so far unable to really switch codes between 7th and 15th well.
Yeah, it takes a little while, but he is a very talented player. He only needs one chance. Scored in the semi-final. Touchy ball once, scored once. That's all we need. But it is a deep ball, and it is trouble. And well done clearance kick there under a lot of pressure by Felician Guerrero.
It seems another player seemed to have touched it on the out. It seemed the error seemed to be put in the favor. Oh, that's an error.
No, she just changed her mind. You're 100% right. He was signaling that it was a Royalians ball, but he just changed his mind. And it is a Northerns ball right on the 22.
Pressure from one pressure situation to another. Northern's line-out has been exceptional so far. Unable to pinch the ball out to the man mountain of Mark Bissessa.
Yeah, I would say actually, if again I'm playing a little, I'll let this play run out and talk to you at the next scrum or line out in terms of some of the Northern substitutes and what I'm hoping they're thinking about as they go deep in this half. But this is exactly what we wanted. Set up that rolling maul and they go in. It does look to be pulled down. Somebody is down there. It looks like Big Jesse Richards, but it is rumbling on and starting to disintegrate. And it is a penalty to Northerns. That's what I thought. It did appear that he was pulling him down. And hopefully they look to set up that line out again if they could find touch. But as we're waiting, we're going in deep into the second half. You expect to see Brian Rajkumar be brought on to show up that scrum. And one player I think would make a big difference is Justin Salary. If you put him as outside centre, move Chris back into fly half and put Jonathan Alain at scrum half. I think that's something that has to happen. No disrespect, of course, to Bonus. And again, they're looking to force a little bit. Big Mark Possess in the middle of the field. Let's see if they could finish here. Do not need to do something wide. Jonathan Alain looks to step. He's eventually brought down. They've got to use the forwards now.
Big numbers out to left. Northern slow the play down. And it's Bonus trying to pick and go. He shows and goes back to the space. He's smashed by Corey Edwards. Northern's just can use the width if they have it. And the big guys are doing the work. Jesse Richards trying to go it forward. Very close to the try line, Northerns.
That's what worked last time, Kelson. Just these pick and goes, slowing it down. But Bonus wants his hand on it.
As a big Wendell seems to push his way through front.
Yeah, that's Wendell
12
Fullerton.
points to 10 for the kick to come.
Sorry to stand up on your toes there, Kelson. That is Wendell Fullerton's specialty. He runs this beautiful line back against the grade. He did the same thing in the Bruno Brown for the first score for Northerns there. Always runs that beautiful little line off Bonus's hands. Score now moves up to 10-13 with the kick to come. But I'll tell you something. The way this game is going, Chris Hudson needs to get this. My apologies, 10-12. So Chris Hudson really needs to get this kick.
Monumental kick to get 4 points ahead. Christopher Hudson, no stranger to pressure kicks, winning bronze medal in CAC games a couple of years ago from the conversion. As easy as you like it, dinks it in the sky, pushing the score up 14 points to 10. Northerns push in front by 4 points clear.
This is exactly what Northerns needed to start this half. Beautiful try there by Wendell Fullerton. Converted by Christopher Hudson, but it was one mistake there. We did say with Kareem off the field, they are losing that option with Hans. He is a beautifully talented player. Phillips brings so much to the line out, but he does lack a little bit. You saw him run a little laterally there. They gave up from ground, threw it backwards past there to Travis Carmichael. Ended up fumbling and going all the way to the 22 of Royalians, and Northerns come away from points. So Royalians, this is a big problem area for Northerns as well. Every time they score, they seem to give up something off the kickoff. Let's see.
Deep kick taken by Lobo, and Lobo crashes away through. Carmichael on the steal, loses it on the second grab. Into hands of big Mark Bissessa. He tries to dish it off. He is wrapped up. Rollins tries to counter-ruck, and his Bonus doesn't know which way to go. Eventually shoots it out wide to McCarty. McCarty's hard to stop, ripped in the contact. Knock-on advantage playing, and it's Bonus on the run, trying to get the ball. It's knocked on in the contact, and the referee's going to take it back. Rollers knock on the pickup. Rollers need to be aware Jeremy Bonus is loads of energy. If he gets room, he chooses more to run than distribute. That may be a blessing and a curse, depending on how you look at it. But they'll get to put into the scrum. Tough work for both teams, as this scrum is draining stuff for us.
Yeah. Jeremy Bonas is beautiful in open space. You know, this is not under 19 rugby. You do not have that time on the ball. And to do that pick, you just got to put your head up before the ball comes out. Again, we're just trying to look at some of the options coming off the bench. I'm surprised that Northerns haven't looked to make that change, especially after that score, just as sturdy as up. Phillips has been brought in to study the scrum, but if Northerns could start winning this penalty, it is a big push again. Looking to turn.
Jesse Richards tried to pick and go, eventually brushed it off. Jeremy Bonus looking for the pass. Christopher Hudson steps inside. Felician Guerra is there for the taking. Johnson, and he's going to try and show and go, but was not fooled. Is Hakeem Espinoza unable to roll away, and the referee's going to have advantage? No, he's not. Bissessa tries to shoot the dummy, spins off one. Bonus shoots the ball out wide, looking for the forward. He hits it to the try scorer. Well done, Fullerton. And it's a big wrestle, knocked on in the contact. The referee seems to have a hand up. It seems to be offside signal.
Yeah, just off that scrum again. You saw the scrum off actually coming around on the 8-man.
Big full moon up in there, and has been a nice, beautiful moon, skylit for a couple of days now, as we see the nice picture of the clouds just caressing these clouds and blooming in on us on this blessed Sunday evening here at the Hazy Crawford practice pitch. It's Royalians versus Northerns, Marcus Minshall knockout finals, and it's an excellent touch finder by Northerns against the wind, and they're really getting the kicking boots on in the second half.
Yeah, Mark Massessa with that rocket of a boot, being asked to fine touch this side. Finally some sanity prevails. And I just want to say, actually, Mark Massessa in this second half has really started to play into his role, just slamming that ball up, getting that go forward that we've been begging him about. Don't need that extra playmaker. Wendell and Jesse being moved to the back, but look at how we do it off there. Fumbled again, and it is a knock-on for Royalians. That's what we bought on Phillip for Royalians. Disruptor. But can they hold this scrum? They have given away a few penalties here. Northerns, once they don't do that early push, can apply that pressure once the ball is in.
Both teams have strong scrums, and as you mentioned, Northerns have the experience of Brian Radskriver to come and settle things. The experienced forward will just use the experience and hold the pressure of the Royalians pack. Roland trying to push this one in, and Northern seem to be steaming their way through. And it's Joshua Sichan breaking down the line, tries to skip the tackle of Jeremy Bonus, does well to get back on his feet, and Roland regain possession, looking for that quick ball into hands of Travis Carmichael, but Bissessa pushes quickly into the defense. Roland looking for a quick ball. Samuel Skeet gets it out to Felician Guerra. He runs lateral, tries to get the space, looks for the pop back inside, skillfully keeps it in hand, and Roylands change the face into the hands of Andreas York, and he runs into the contact. He keeps his feet, and Mark Bissessa, whilst he tries to keep him off the floor, he tries to put his knees on, but it's already malformed, and they don't have to let go. And it's going to be scrum time for Northerns. Great took by Bissessa. Andreas York just being a little too upright in the contact.
Yeah, just for the under-19 players watching, yes, if the ref has not called it, you've taken it into contact and you get your knee down, it does become a tackle and the tackle has to release. But if you take it in and you're being held up and the referee, once he calls maul, the defender no longer has to release. So even if it goes down after that, once the defender just stays on it and the ball is unplayable, it is a turnover to the team, and it is Northern's ball in this situation. So massive work again by Bissessa, as you said. Espinoza!
Espinoza loses it in the contact. He knocks it forward. Too many spectators on the sideline. And there's Bonus trying to go down the sideline. He brushes off one. It's Caleb Diaz to beat. Caleb at the fullback gets him to floor. Roland's trying to get themselves in this one. Quick pass. It comes to Jareem George, and he shows and goes. McHardy in open play is dangerous. Roland eventually bundled him to the floor. Penalty to Royals, not releasing is a call. And we see Jareem George just slowing the play down. Picked up quick by Joshua Sichan. He smashes his way. As the referee calls the play, we see arms swinging in that contact. The referee's not pleased as we see a couple of Royals bodies on the floor.
Yeah, one of the fetchers we identified there, Joshua Sichan, so dangerous, well tackled. It looked like go forward there by McCarty. Brought down by Sichan, stolen, did the quick tap. You see what they're trying to do, but we have an injury here. Number 12.
Seems to be Samuel Skeet, seems to be down. bit hurting, and he's been doing an excellent job of keeping Jesse Richards at bay at the back of those scrums, and he's going to get a bit of attention there. Tough work by these boys.
Yeah, it does look like his knee is starting to flare. I hope he could continue. He's had a great game. Just to go back to that play there, Royalians with the overlap. Espinosa broke down. We didn't get the best view, but it appears that he was tackled, lost the ball. Bonas collected, went blind, went to the blind side, ran it all the way up, stepped back inside, set up that phase, and Royalians took them for a run there once it was turned over in the centre of the park. Quick phases of play.
Samuel Skeet got attention quickly. Just a bit of ice. Sometimes it requires just a bit of rest. Sometimes just to eat up some of the clock as well.
About 10 minutes into the second half. Will confirm shortly. But it is a penalty. Stolen there by Joshua Sichan. They slow it down.
Felician Guerra slices his kick and just kicks it level to where he was. That spiral kick is a tricky bit, and the new tactic everyone uses, end over end, just kicking the point of the ball and really getting your purchase in that way. Error by Felician Guerra on that one, just trying to get a little more distance, and maybe a tap would have been the better option for him, but he's kicking with the wind.
Yeah, I think if Royalians stick to that tap and go, that's what's paid all the dividends for them. Definitely noticing a change since Kareem Figaro has gone off. Just not getting that extra playmaker coming out there from the pack, but it is secured somehow by Royalians. They're slowing it down. Mark Bassessa trying to contest that rock. It is a pick and go by Trezine, but it might be turned over here by Big Del. No, yes, it is knocked on there.
Jesse McLean trying to go on the outside, just knocking it on in the contact. Uncharacteristic error by Jesse McLean.
You'll notice Brian Rajkumar just came on. He's the big number one there for Northerns. That's what we're talking about. Coming on. He doesn't have the gas anymore. He must be about 47 years of age, but somehow manages to do it. He's come on. He's going to sturdy up that scrum. Just had a little bit of level head. Again, haven't made any changes to the back line. Surprised they haven't pushed Christoph fly half just to shore it up, just to slow it down, bring Salary on as outside centre. But they have their eyes. It is a big distance between Jonathan Alain and Christopher Hudson. Want to attack that outside channel. Look for Jareem George. It has gone down, but the ref looks to play it picked and go by Jesse.
Jesse Richards building up a head of steam. It takes 3 to get him down. He gets about 5 meters purchase. Bonus trying to shift it out wide. It's Bissessa. He's going to try to pop it to Big JJ. Rollins is up to the task. Players flying over the top of the breakdown. Dangerous play by Northerns. He literally left his feet like a plane. Felician Guerra takes it quickly, looks for Travis Carmichael. He knocks it on in the contact. No advantage gain. Not back 10 is the call.
At some stage, somebody has to tell these Northerns player how far back 10 is, because they've conceded the same penalty over and over, but they refuse to adjust. They never get back. Wendell was sauntering back, never got back on side. It is the correct call. And Northerns putting himself under all sorts of pressure. Felician Guerra happy to take those yards.
Felician Guerra making amends for the wayward kick before. Smashes it down deep into Northern's half. And one score puts Royalians back in the lead. They're only 4 points behind. 14 points to 10. Northerns over Royalians. Loads of time left.
Yeah, you're hearing the sideline. A few drinks in everybody's head. They're enjoying the atmosphere.
Line out time, line out set piece. Didn't work just now. Can they get it right? They put JJ to Mark Phillip at the front. Rollins decide to go at 4. Into the hands. And Rollins on the push. Northern's unable to slow down just yet. Eventually it stopped. There seems to be Cesar trying to pull his way over the top. He is not bound, but into the hands of Felician Guerra. Atiba Rodney shoots without wide. It's Edwards looking for the speedy winger. Step and go. Rollins looking for the space. Eventually into the hands of Rodney, and he makes the contact. Rollins pushing their way forward. Big strong rock by Royalians, and it's Joshua Sichan doing the monster work in the middle of the pitch. Royalians keeping possession, looking for the ball out wide. Tired bodies now. It's Philanders rushing into contact, makes a knee on the floor. Tackle called by the referee. Felician Guerra shifts it out wide. It's Jazzy McLean this time. Wendell pulling them at the coattails, looking for the ball. Royalians still secure possession. Slow ball this time. Felician Guerra changes the side. Goes a bit backward, signals the referee. And smashed down. Solid tackle by Nuddans. And the referee says side on contact there, taken quickly by Joshua Sichan. He looks for the man out wide. Royalians are pushing their way up forward. Desperate work by Nuddans to stop the Royalian surge. Just short of the line is Royalians looking for the quick ball. Nuddans does well to slow it down. Royalians is knocking on the door to get themselves in front. Royalians pick and goes from the side. The referee looking for the signal from the referee. He goes to confer with his AR just to see what's happened. And we have in-goal judges for this one. Royalians playing precariously to the line. It's try for Royalians. Royalians take the lead. It's 15-14 with the kick to come. Great work by Royalians, scoring them in the corner. And Royalians are in front. Nail bite of a match here.
Well, the most frustrating part for everybody watching who's a Northern supporter home is that we identified it before the game. Royalians in the first game of the season utilizing off those penalties, those quick taps, and again they're just putting the same pressure. They get a penalty, they do a quick tap, they run up, they get another penalty 15 yards up the field, they punt it down, they make yards again, they're winning lineouts, and Northerns have been their worst enemy all game, and they're looking at each other. They're not sure who is going to take control of this match. Can somebody come on and change the atmosphere? Some of the combinations that started have not fully worked out, but they wait until the last minute. Surprised, they brought on one player in the pack, but I mean the packer isn't really exactly where they struggle. Could Corey Edwards pull off this kick?
Felician Guerra taking the kicking duties off of Corey Edwards. Strange option. Corey seemed to be having a good game so far, but his kick is pushed wide. And the score remains 15-14 to Royalians. And right now, this looks like a repeat of yesterday. 1 point is the difference. Royals in front, 15 points to 14. We having a cracker here at the Hasty Crawford practice pitch.
Yeah, the crowd, it's amazing how much tension there is in the air. Nobody wants to celebrate. Nobody thinks they have the game under control. Anybody could win it at this point. But it is a Northern's kickoff. They need to just do the basics right. Play in Royalians' half. Put it deep. In these conditions, everybody, the nerves, let them make an error. Don't try to force anything.
Allen to get us back on the way. Deep kick this time, looking for the mistake. Rowan let it run long. They're going to let roll into the dead ball area. Someone needs to touch it down. Danger by Royalians trying to play it out. But it should be a...
Should be a 22 dropout, I would think. But I guess he's actually going to confer. Did he actually look to pass it forward?
Well, it's strange option by Royalians. Tap it down in the try area with Mina scrum back in the half line.
Let's see.
Let's see what the AR says on this one. Royalians put themselves under all sorts of pressure, letting the ball roll into the 22-meter line. And danger, danger, danger. And now the referees convert, and you're going to put this under a loads of pressure for yourself. Goal line dropout.
Goal line dropout. Very strange that Royalians would risk that at this stage of the game. Felician Guerra, though, one thing he brings is his confidence. He has this aura about him, and he's just settling down his troops. He's going to punt it long. He's going to ask a lot from Chris and Warren and Jareem George back here. Are they going to be able to run it back, though?
Can kick it straight out into touch. So the ball just needs to travel 5 meters. Felician Guerra directly under the post. Sends it high into the air. No one's really chased it into the hands of Bonus. And he shoots a wild pass. McCarty under loads of pressure, but Warren John on the run. Rollins tries to snatch him up. Eventually he's taken down. And danger by Rollins, not chasing the kick expertly. And it's Rajkumar coming to settle things. Looking for the big Rajkumar, big Bisessa. And he gets his way to the floor. Nuddans, acres of room out wide if they can use it. Into the hands of the big Jesse Richards. He's taken to floor. Nuddans, loads of people out to the right if they can use it. Bonus fumbles it on the floor. The referee says went backwards. Play on, and Johnson Allen is smashed in the contact. Rollins trying to secure this one. The ball seemed to be leaking over into blue territory, and Rollins leaked the penalty. Felician Guerra taps and goes quickly, looking for support, and the referee's going to slow the play down for injury.
Yeah. So many comments. Oh, Felicia Guerrero, beautifully done. Happy to slow it down, but bodies galore on the ground.
The time is already off, even though it was an excellent sort of thinking. The play was already stopped for the injured player. Time is already off.
Yeah, I got to respect that either way. I'm going to buy a bear for him for sure. Now, Kelson, this is an ugly comment to make, but I'm going to make it. A lane is down, and we're now forced to make a call. Northern's backline has not clicked so far. Mickey has been reluctant to make any change. We have Justin Saller on the bench. He could play outside center. Can we settle it down and bring Chris into that fly-off option role? We will see what they do. We don't hope it's a serious injury. We don't want him to be down. But everything is relying 1 point difference right now. Playing in Royalians half, but again, they are abusing Northern for those quick taps. And we're getting messages from all over. James Walken in England has sent me about 40 text messages. He is not thrilled so far with how Northern's approaching these penalty situations.
Well, the player got smashed in the contact, running backwards on the play on, and the Rowan's player creeped around the blind side and hit him unexpectedly, and those hits are what takes a lot of energy out of you. As another player, Warren John, doesn't seem to be good, and he needs to come off. So changes in the back lines are going to be made, whether Northerns want to or not. As Warren John is taken to the sideline, maybe we see Justin Shallery coming on. He may be able to play on the wing as well.
But I'm actually watching the subs bench now for Northerns, and I don't know if they think they're South Africa, but they only have one back for them, and that is Justin Shallery. Everybody else is a forward who they haven't brought on yet, besides Brian Rajkumar. Will the strategy pay off?
Well, so far it's working fairly in their favor. They're only down by 1 point as a substitution needs to be made. Rollins in front, 15 points to 14. They need to make a change. Rollins just having the tail in front slightly. Just need to sustain or maintain, I should say, this pressure on the boys in blue and white.
I'm going to call some players who have been outstanding for Royalians as we're waiting during this break. Joshua Sichan has been a revelation since he's come back into the team. And Captain Wazim Oliver wearing number 8 for Royalians. But here we go. Time back on. Felician Guerra slows it down. But it seems to be kept in by Bonus.
And Bonus runs to the two players. Miraculously keeps the ball. Rollins on the counter-attack. They counter-ruck fine. And it's Bissessa coming from the side. This time it's Damian Phillip. Run a bit sideways. Just losing the ball in the contact.
It is a penalty to Northerns. They seem to come over there. The tackler apparently never reached. Was him. Oliver disagrees. I think I may as well.
Well, the ref, the AR signals the player losing their feet in the ruck as Jeremy Bonus is down. And Northerns are under a bit of a cosh. Not enough substitutions to keep them in this. Maybe someone needs to double up as the players call for attention. The player holding his head, and we talk about HIA and head injuries. We want to make sure the players are safe. As much as we love anyone to win this final, we want them to have a safe return to play. As you see, lots of bodies for the Northerns are down as Bissessa tries to clear his lines.
And he does so well.
Excellent touch founder. As you see, Jonathan Allen is back on the floor. He doesn't seem to be able to continue as Justin Shallery comes on, unsure what position he's going to be playing next.
I'm actually heard. I think Mark Bassesso is telling me he wants it off the top, which has me a little stunned. But let's see if they're actually going to go for it. Are they going to go for that 4? Are they going to do 2? Damien is going to contest the 2. They could just hit an easy 4 ball here. I don't think they're going to throw up 2 jumpers. They're really worried about this rolling maul. Should be an easy 4 if he could hit it.
Well, Northerns has a choice to make as Christopher Hudson does go to 10. Jonathan Allen push. Doesn't seem to know what's happening. Jeremy Bonus seems to be the winger.
This is exactly the substitution I was hoping for. But not to say anything against Warren, of course, but just a little bit of structure there at that scrum half to fly off connection. Chris is going to bring it. Only down by 1 point. They do not need a miracle ball. Somebody is going to become a legend of their club tonight. Who is going to be able to close out this game? 15-14. Royalians a 1 point advantage. They're bringing in the call from Grossberg here. Kyle's got to hit this.
And Crossburg seems to be out as we see Jonathan Stewart comes in. He is a nag at the breakdowns, but Northern gives up a bit of height and size in the process. But he's a very handy player as time is back on. Set piece time. The ball stolen by Royalians. This time it's Sichan with the ball. Advantage seems to be playing. The referee has his hand up as a nut straight is a call by the referee. He's going to have a put in. And the wind may be playing a factor as the hooker has to compensate for the strong shift in the wind.
Yeah, I hope the folks at home realize the wind is huge tonight. And Kyle tried to throw a 4-ball in there. Perhaps I'm not really taking into fact how hard it is because he threw it and it barely made it past. The jumper didn't even have a chance with that one. So it is a scrum. Royalians look for Felician Guerra to pump it down the field. They've been trusting their defense all night. They've been applying a lot of pressure. Jonathan Stewart is going to bring that energy from beside his scrum, but you are right. They are losing a lot of the line out and scrum time. Let's see how it plays out.
Big scrum by Northern's. Turnover, and it's Jesse Richards breaking and go. This time, 2-on-1. Jeremy Bonus in the corner. Forward pass signaled by the referee. And hard break to the Northern supporters. They all seem to be in despair.
Well, we will have to trust the touch judge, the AR and Staggy. If they call it, that is what it is. As a Northern's player, I'm going to have a sip of beer with that. But Jesse Richards broke, shrugged off Joshua Sichan. Let's see it from here. Kelson, you run through what happened while I have a sip.
Turnover, Jesse Richards just dismissed Joshua Sichan. 2-on-1. It seemed that he reached a lot of distance in front, beat his player there, Hakim Espinoza, but forward pass signaled by the referee. No score, and despair at Jeremy Bonus was the hero, or seemed to be the hero, marched in to score the winning try for Northerns, and it was not to be. The referee called it back. Felician Guerra and Royalians get an opportunity to make amends as bodies are down. This is grueling stuff by both teams. And bodies, and it's a grueling task, but Sunday evening, boys, all season long, these boys are really putting in the shifts. Close game, 15-14 in favor of Royalians over Northern's RFC. Can we have a repeat of the Rugby World Cup finals yesterday, where South Africa pipped New Zealand by 1 point the better?
Well, 15 years from now, Kelson, I'll be walking down the street and see her, and if this is how the score ends up, I will tell you that I thought that was back, but of course I was not remotely close. I'm just a former Northerns player. We're going to hear a lot of comments about it, but that's why we love this beautiful sport. No doubt we have a team of 3, and we're pretty confident that is the right call. I'm just being a little facetious here. So it is going to be a Royalians ball, but they are playing against a very strong wind. Felician Guerin just emanating confidence there at fly half. He's going to pump it down. Jeremy Bonas, is he going to get another chance? Beautifully finished, slightly forward, but Northerns with a massive scrum that stole that ball, and there's blood in the water. Brian Rajkumar came on, and that is exactly what he was brought on for. There is a substitution. Somebody's down.
Royals make the change.
And it might be Big Trezine.
No, Royals made the change earlier. And just York came off, and in came. As we see that next big change for Royals coming on here. Trezine McLean seems to be coming off. He has his days over, and this might seem or smell trouble for Royals, losing the experience, lock in the process.
Yeah, that is a massive loss.
In comes Michael Scipio to close the game off. Can Royals switch things around?
This is a big decision here.
Wazim Oliver goes up to the front row. They're going to have a switch on personnel at the number 8. This is going to be a telling moment in this one. Can Royals close this one out and really secure the victory? Not much left. A lot of injury time in this as we get ourselves back underway. Big scrum.
Northerns have to hold this push until the ball is in. It is in, and here they go walking again. It might be turned over. It is turned over.
Richard picks and goes blind. Royals trying to push him into the touchline if they can. Trying to be patient. Northerns trying to push their way over. Royals is over the ball, trying to get it. Being patient. Northerns loads of room out wide if they can use it. Well done, Fullerton pushes his way in. Northerns keeping possession, trying to be patient. Royals are on the The defense super hard. Jesse Richards again. Rollins just need to be patient and milk out the possession if they can. Northerns are just doing the bull work, just making it inch by inch, closer and closer to the try line. Referee Richard Stagland is on this one. Big pick and go again by Northerns, not making much yards.
But there they get the go forward. And it is a try to Northerns after a series of pick and go. And it's Jonathan Stewart, the substitute. The smallest man on the pitch sees it. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Let's try. It's try. Northerns gets the go-ahead try. That's Wendell Fullerton scoring his second.
Oh, yes, I apologize. You're right.
The score, 19 points to 15. Northerns over Royalians. Not much left in this encounter. Christopher Hudson to add the extra 2 points.
Nice thing about those rocks, those pick and goes, moving it towards the center, is Chris has a genuine chance. To convert this now and could push that score to above just a try without a conversion. Everything counts on this kick. If he misses, one try will give the victory to Royalians. Takes his breath.
Pressure kick for Christopher Hudson. Going to try to charge on. He slices the kick to the left. The score remains 19 points to 15 in favor of Royalians, and one last gap for Royalians to get themselves a victory. Northerns in front by 4 points. Grueling finals here.
Oh, the amount of errors that Northerns have committed. If they could somehow pull out a victory here, they will be thanking the graces of God. Royalians know what they have to do. They're being rallied from the sideline. The ladies are standing there on their feet. You can hear them. Felician Guerra, the evergreen, done it for the national team since he was 17 years of age. He looks to kick off. It's got to go 10. Why would Mark Bessessa look to play that?
Mark Bessessa tried to take it, and Roland tried to play it on the go. It's Hakeem Espinoza trying to get himself. Jonathan Allen is over the ball expertly. No advantage gained. They will take it back for the knock-on. It was an error on the kickoff by Felician Guerra, and Mark Bessessa decided he will be the hero and catch the short kick and knocked it on the process, and he just gifted Rollins back the ball and an opportunity to strike.
We'll explain it for some of the under-19s at home who may not know. If the ball does not travel 10, it is a scrum in the center of the park. But once you play it as the receiving team, it is now live. Mark Bessessa opted to go past the 10-meter line and try to put his hands out to receive it. When he knocked on, it is now a knock-on scrum to Royalians.
Royalians haven't been so far in the put-in. Trying to get this ball back.
And it is a penalty to Royalians. An early push again.
And Roland tap and go. Wasim Oliver looks for the space out wide. It's in the hands of Atiba, looking for Corey Edwards. Corey Edwards on the go, gets it out to Caleb Diaz. He is rumbled into touch, and a lifeline for Northerns as Diaz tries to get around the outside. Roland tried to go on their counter-attack, and time is not on their side.
They are trying to force it. One thing I would say about Caleb Diaz, he is beautiful in space, but he is so incredibly light that if he is wrapped up, sometimes the touch is his enemy. He does like to run it on that outside arching run, and he was stopped there by Northern's winger and forced out of bounds. So it is a Northern's ball, but again, this is where champions are made. Northerns know the score. They know what they have to do. They cannot. There's no reason for a quick ball off the top here. Everything has to be slowed down. Take it at 4. Bring it down. Take the drive. Hope to concede the penalty, and if needs be. And that is beautifully done. They set it up. And Sichan is rolling down the side. We'll see what the referee opts to say. He's saying use it once, but they are getting go forward. This is exactly what Northern's hope to do.
Northern's on the drive. Sets it out to Hudson. Hudson shows and goes. Tries to get on the blind side. It's McHardy trying to cut on the outside for Royals. Royals need to dig deep to get this ball going. Nuttons are going to eat away the clock. Royals on the counter rock. Are they successful?
No.
A penalty advantage. Tackling not rolling away is a call. Referee Richard Saglan says the Royals player is on the floor, not rolling away. It's breathtaking stuff here. Nuttons get a lifeline as Royals try desperately to turn this one over.
I do actually think that Travis Carmichael tried to force that just a little bit. He really was playing to the space there. Did look like a penalty. And Northerns now, this is what I was talking about. This is what champions are all about. You've got to slow it down. Mark should have used the full meter. Just did the safe option there. Take it, move, play up to the halfway line. Slowly now in Royalians half. They want to do that catch and drive again. I do not think Chris did the right thing trying to change pace. I would have just done, especially with this kind of breeze, just play for territory. Might just want to just push the ball down, force the defenders back, force the wingers to try to run back at them. But this is it. Minutes remaining in this final. Kyle.
Nuttons again wasting time, walking in. Royals compete. Picked up excellently, trying to shoot out wide. Christopher Hudson looking for the big Mahadi. He bumps off one. Royals are there to get him to the floor. Big rock by Nuttons. Royals are going to take their time. It seemed to be fondled at the back. Knocked on eventually by Kyle Wilson. Royals need to turn it around if they can. Knock on to Royals. The player just super excited as Bissessa is screaming down the head of the referee. And sooner rather than later, he could be playing with danger. Royals set up for the scrum.
You have to wonder the logic. You have to wonder where you set it up off the line out. Fine, you want to go with that quick tap. Not sure what you're going to exploit. You got your first center to make yard. You've set up exactly. It is a clean, easy strategy now. You are playing with the wind. Simply pump it and force Royalians to go the whole length of the field. But now we have given up possession. It is a Royalians ball scrum in the middle of the field. This is exactly what they want. And they have given up a penalty. Way too much wind for Corey to kick. They're going to tap and go. You knew that was coming.
Into Sichan. Sichan busts one tackle. Eventually pulled to the floor. Roland looking for quick ball. Nuttons will try their best to slow it down. Looking for Travis Carmichael. He's met excellently by Mark Bissessa. Roland's looking for space. Philanders looking for the ball. He's going to run into contact. He's met by no entry sign. They seem to be creeping around the outside. Roland's knocked it on, but the referee's going back for advantage. Not 10 is a call. Royals are going to take it, tap it again. Nuttons don't seem to be ready. Into the hands of the forward, eventually taken to the floor. Nuttons not releasing. Actually, Nuttons turned the ball over. It's the blue and white ball. Roland's just isolated a bit too much. Gonna shoot it out to Stewart. He finds Jesse Richards. Jesse fumbles. He kind of ducks under the contact. Eventually, Roland's wrap him to the floor. Nuttons with possession. Roland's trying to roll away. Counter rock is on. Play on, says the referee. Rollins gets it hand of Corey Edwards. Knock on signal by the referee. Rollins knocked on in the contact, and it's been Nuttons ball. Nail biting stuff, not much in this, and this is really breathtaking stuff. Anyone the victor, Nuttons only 4 points ahead. One score will get Rollins in this final and the trophy. Breathtaking stuff, Robert Stone.
It looked like Royalians had the chance there. Corey Edwards, the danger man, ball in hand, tried to push it out wide again. But you just have to ask yourself, and it is a question I'm getting on my WhatsApp constantly, is what is the reason for Royalians, Northern's insistence of playing with ball in hand in this area of the field? Your defense has worked so well tonight. You are just able to give a little exit strategy, push it deep, and play. They're the ones that need to score. They're the ones that need not just a penalty, but need a try to win with minutes left. So it is a Northern's ball here, just outside the 22. Mickey Brown has made his way on the field.
As we have a shot at the crowd, Roland supporters just excited looking at what's happened out there. There's a man down. He needs immediate attention, but 4 points the difference. Nuttons have the dominance in the scrum now with the injured Chazine McLean off. The experience of Brian Rajkumar and Wendell Fullerton are really manhandling the Rollins pack, and they need to use their wisdom, Rollins, if they want to turn this one over. Jesse Richards, monumental shift, doing a lot of work, not all, but an immense amount of work at the number 8 position, really just put it on.
I think, Kelson, that, well, of course, I'm speaking to somebody who's represented West Indies and Trinidad, but when your pack has this sort of dominance at this stage of the game, you would be a madman to take it out. Put it in, get that shove on, keep it at the number 8's feet, get that penalty, and get out of here. There's no reason you want to feed a backline that has been misfiring all day. Sorry to say it. But again, we'll see Chris Hudson actually looks, he might be playing. No, it is. He is going to play fly off. Salary moved into that inside channel, and McCarty looks to be moved out.
Scrum time. Big scrum for both teams. Northern's dominant so far. Can Royalians dig deep and quick tap. Chris Hudson tried to play it long. Big high kick. One bounce into touch.
Well, sanity finally prevails there, Kelson. Forcing Royalians now with a scrum.
It seems to be Northern's ball. A play referee AR has his hand in the wrong position, maybe. Am I to be corrected? Northern's cleared their lines.
Let's see what the call is. I think they're discussing if the ball went straight into touch.
Bit of confusion as well as to whose possession it is.
It is Royalians' ball. Yes, it bounced once and then went out. It is Royalians' ball.
Well, whether it bounced or not, it was scrum time for Northerns and they kicked it out. So it'll always be Rowan's possession. Strong line out. Fumble in the pickup, eventually taken in. Northern's on the counter attack. Penalty again. Rowan take it quickly. It's the captain, Wazim Oliver, looking for Travis Carmichael. He pushes his way through. Bundle into touch. No advantage gain. And Rowans are going to try to take it again.
Kelson, I am wondering if Northerns have any idea that you have to get back 10 from a full-arm penalty.
It's Joshua Sichan busted his way through, looking for the extra penalty again. Sideward entry. Rowans are going to take it quickly. Felician Guerra on the go, looking for support. He's going to try to do it himself. It's Damian Phillip. He's bundled to the side. Rowans has the advantage being played. Looking for Felician Guerra. He's looking for space, trying to find the runners. Advantage is to the Royalians as he had his knee on the floor. No advantage gain. Royals get back the penalty. Felician Guerra is going to try to take it quickly yet again. They need to tap and go and bully Northerns across this line. Royals deep inside, and it's a yellow card for the Northerns player there. And Northerns player being given his marching orders.
And he's 100% right. That is about the 5th repeated penalty for not getting back 10. And eventually Staggy says enough is enough. It is a penalty against Andrew Quash, who is the winger.
And it's the captain, Oliver, pushes his way through. Roland looking for the pack hook again. High tackle there by Northern's. Rollins has to have the advantage.
He's going to drop it right before a tap and go.
Felician Guerra taps and goes. There's no one around him. Felician Guerra reaching for the line. Just short. Advantage playing. Can Rollins get themselves over the line? Just one more pass is needed. Big hit by Northern's. Desperate defense by the boys in blue and white. A man short. Rollins need to show some composure. Felician Guerra shoots it out wide. Big contact and champion defense by Northerns.
It looks like Big Jesse
And this game is over. Northerns have won it. Rollins burned it at the end, trying to get the try over. Desperation by the Rollins RFC, trying to get themselves over. And Northerns hang on and are the 2023 Marcus Minshall knockout champions.
Well, this one is going to haunt some dreams, Kelson, years from now. They've got the ball on the goal line. Options there, just a pick and go. Had almost the penalty advantage. The ref was looking to call it. He kept his hand. Felician Guerra opted to pull. It was on. Passed it out. And Jesse Richards pulled off a miracle. I am shattered for these Royalians players. They had a stellar year, beating Caribs to get to this final. They're being conceded now. But what a performance there by Northerns. Horrific knock-ons all day. But in the end, showed the championship quality and came out with the title.
Well, desperate stuff here the last minute of the game. And Rollins had the opportunity to take the win, and they just couldn't reach that extra meter to get it across. Committed so many numbers in the breakdown trying to get it out wide, and eventually Northern just hold on for that narrow 1915 victory over the boys in blue and gold, and Northern celebrating the 100-year anniversary get an opportunity to carry home some silverware.
Well, 100 years and a trophy. Marcus Minshall to finish it off, Kelson. Massive effort. Thank you for letting me come and do this with you. Much appreciated. I'm going to give you the final word as we head out on this beautiful night.
Excellent day of rugby. Started off with the U19 exhibition match, followed by the women's 15s action, and the culmination, the coup de grace knockout men's finals, Royalians versus Northerns. Northerns taking this victory by a slender 19 points to 15. I'm Kelson Figaro alongside Robert Stone. Thank you for viewing us here on 360 TV, and we'll see you again next time.